Okay, welcome to the Twisted Tea best post-race show ever, or maybe the worst because we're joined by Phil Nicoletti. Look, don't feel bad. I know Unadilla wasn't your best race of the year. What happened to Levi Kitchen at Washougal? Didn't work out well for him at the home race either. So we've learned something. Home races are tough.
They are. Very tough.
Yeah, so what was it? The emotions? The distractions?
Everything off the track was unreal. Like, took it all in. It was tough, but I suck in big, long ruts. Like,
oh, it wasn't any of that. It wasn't the atmosphere. That didn't affect the riding. It was just the track.
No, I struggled with the track.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't have the flow. I'm spaghetti leg type of guy. I'm not like Hunter and Jet or Chase, or I'm all like ballet-ish, you know. I should have got a DUI out there the way I squirrel out, you know. Like, I could not stay in my lane for shit. So, yeah, I just had a hard time. And if you don't have a flow on the track, it eats you up and spits you out. So.
Also, starts are really your specialty. Can we talk about the gate in the second moto? But it was like a 30-second card, like legit. It was like a 30-second gate hold, and I saw you go, stop, go.
Dude, my clutch, like I run a hydraulic clutch, and I don't know what happened, but it faded on me, and the next thing I know, like the gate's not dropping, my clutch was coming in, and I kept pulling. It's like clutch is coming in, and I'm pulling my front brake in, and I was doing a burnout on the grate.
Oh my gosh.
And all of a sudden the gate dropped, I'm like,
yeah, you did. We have photos.
I'm like, what the f just happened? But yeah, that was not good. And so that actually made my second moto not that great. But yeah.
However, Mitch, talk about the press conference from Chase Sexton. Your starts weren't good, but you did help somebody. Tell him about this.
Yeah, so Sexton, you asked him if he had made bike changes. He had the great, pretty much whole shot the checkers. Like nobody saw him from the second turn on, second moto, and we're like, hey, how did you bike changes? Well, how did you do that? And he said you gave him some secrets, maybe a little bit of insight. I don't know. He didn't really go into too much detail, but he said to you, the grand marshal of this event, get props for the day.
There you go, baby. There you go, baby.
Yeah. I mean, I did talk to Chase after Millville. We had a little powwow. We were up at 8 March. I was having a beer. He was not, so don't get all cranky. But yeah, we were just chatting about some stuff, and hey, went back to the team, talked to Carlos and the boys, and yeah, I guess I made some changes. So his starts got better, and mine sucked.
Phil, I feel like these knowledge that you have, I don't know what you're planning on doing next year, but don't waste it. Like, you have a lot of knowledge, a lot of things to give, okay? Please use this knowledge that you have in some way.
I'm gonna try. Working on it at the moment. So.
You're helping the 450 point leader get better starts. Like, that's worth something.
I just want 5% of the bonus that he got today. Yeah. That's all.
Oh,
it's
if you want to be paid.
Yeah.
If you want to get paid, it's over. It's over.
You want to work pro bono, it's no problem. You want to get paid, get out of here.
He'll give you props all day long, and that's it. All right, Phil, enjoy that. That was cool. That we always joke that you're emotionless, but you enjoyed
awesome.
it.
Yeah, the Robinson family treated me very well today. To go back up on the podium in front of everybody, kind of, yeah, it's pretty surreal. So
autograph session last night.
Autograph session last night.
Oh, I forgot. You were flipping off the crowd. The crowd was flipping off you, and my guy Stu didn't really know that was your thing, and he was thinking there was like a fight about to break out. He was a little scared, and I'm like, and then JT interviews you, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know that was a thing."
Yeah,
that is just Phil.
Proper reporting out there.
Yes, JT did a good job.
AS7, he's got it figured out.
Yeah, we're teaching people. It's Phil's just teaching people things.
Yeah.
All right, get out of here. Go hang out with your family.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Phil.
Thank you,
Yep. All right, let's talk Twisted Tea. Best post-race show here real quick. 450 class. Yes, the gate to flag performance by Chase Sexton was unreal in Moto 2, but how about the return of Hunter Lawrence in that first moto? That was massive.
And on the brand new 2025 bike too, which again, he said it was stock production really good, but it's like he did also say, yeah, we did take a risk in running it. I think the goal initially was to do the final 3 SMX races on it, and then it was like, hey, can we maybe get in some motocross testing? You know, he's still kind of in the championship. He's got maybe get a little bit of luck on his side, but he didn't want to just throw it away, but it was like, hey, let's test for next year. And yeah, dude, first moto was awesome battle. He got a great start, which they've had great starts too. So I asked him like, hey, are we able to transfer the engine package and whatnot? And he said the engine package on the new bike with the new frame and everything was so good he didn't think it was the same engine. He thought it was a whole new engine, everything. He's like, there's no way this is the same thing.
Yes.
But he just said the bike's more comfortable, the frame is more, it helps you out in times instead of beating you up a little bit. So yeah, whole shot there. It gets, it was back and forth battling, but he looked really good on the new bike, which is scary for next year for those guys.
It is, and now I've heard that he and Jet will both be on it when the playoffs begin. So the 24 is in the past, it's all 25 now. So that was big to see that. And then also, Dylan Ferrandis sighting? first time we've really seen DiFrancesco like battling with those guys all year. That second moto was great.
Yeah, I think the first moto, he was up there a little bit, and I think Jason Anderson, dude, that must be like the hardest 5.5 the guy's ever had. He was flying both motos.
Yes.
And Ferrandis, I think he got dropped a little bit. I don't know if he had a mistake or I don't think he crashed or whatever, but dude, second moto, it looked like 2021 Ferrandis.
It did.
He was just charging, he was running people down. He got caught, Hunter got him there late, but that was, I think, really like, I don't know if it was a breakout ride, but that was the first real, like you said, sign of life we've seen from him. It's kind of been, I know he hasn't been pumped on the results, but that was awesome riding from him.
Yeah, he said he's been sick, and they're working on the motorcycle. He just gets bumped up the podium. That last lap pass bumped him to 4th. Aaron Plessinger gets 3rd, so let's hear from those top 3 from the press conference.
Yeah, it's been good. The last 2 races or whatever, I got podiums at. I got Red Bud, and man, it's been crazy to see all the fans, and it's awesome. They show out, and I try to bring the best out in them. They try to bring the best out in me. So I didn't know. I mean, I knew what to kind of expect up here. There's some good old boys and good old people up here. So it's always fun up here. But they definitely showed out, and they were cheering me on when I was in whatever 15th or 16th place, and they were really cheering me on when I got past Anderson on that last lap. So it's awesome, man. It's awesome to see and hear all the fans, and it seems like these crowds are bigger than a lot of the other years. So it's good to see.
Yeah, similar situation off the start. Just how I sit my clutch right on the engagement point, and you know, it's just heating up the longer they hold the gates. You know, it's normally anywhere from 4.5 to 5.5, and it kind of caught us off guard. Like AP said, he was about to let off, and I'm thinking, there's something wrong with the gates, you know, but not the best start, and just kind of, I think it was 10 minutes in probably, and, you know, Chase already established a pretty decent lead, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to keep pushing, trying to get around the guys ahead of me, and it was tough track to pass on, especially when you don't really have clear track to get your rhythm going. So yeah, just kind of patient, was happy I had a good, back to feeling myself, you know, be able to be strong for both motos all the way. So that was a good win today, back to feeling, you know, I'd say normal. And yeah, just looking forward to next weekend.
Yeah, to be honest, I was just really excited to get a hole shot. I hadn't pulled a hole shot all summer. Today we made some adjustments to the bike for the start, and it really paid off. My first moto was good. Second moto was even better, and I just wanted to sprint when the track was really good, and just try and capitalize on getting a good start and really show my my sprint speed, because I've been working on it a lot the last 3 weeks with Tom, and yeah, I kind of wanted to show that and just try and get a gap. So yeah, I felt really good at the beginning, and then with a track like this, you have to be really on your toes the whole moto and not slack off too much, but not override it, because it can bite you. Obviously, we saw that a lot today. So yeah, it was a fine line of how much you could push, but I was just trying to stay steady and have some fun. I had a really good moto. I felt solid the whole time. Made some bike changes from Moto 1 to Moto 2. And I told my mechanic after the side lap, I feel good in this moto. I'm ready to go. So had fun. It was good. Battling with Hunter. And yeah, just overall good day.
Welcome back. I got it twisted. Sorry, they didn't have any more. They literally hand opened them coming out of the semi. We're back, Jason and Mitch, and we got fans. This is like pre-COVID. We got fans back here. If anyone needs any car detailing in New Jersey, where do they go?
Or good hair.
Precision detailing?
Precision care detailing?
Oh, precision care detailing. Oh, good hair. Well, I mean, that's
Great hair.
It's like the situation there. Yeah, we got kids of all ages. Who's your guy? Who's your favorite rider? But I'm looking at your shirt. Not Deegan? Come to Budds Creek, Tomax Racing next week. They confirmed that again. Mitch, let's talk 250 class. You really summed it up well. So you're out on the track. Are you shooting photos?
Yeah, doing a little bit of both, watching, shooting some photos.
And what were you seeing a consistent stream of in the second moto?
Well, you're always watching, like, head on a swivel, like playing football. You don't want to get hit by the linebackers and safeties. So I'm like watching for bikes crossing both ways, and I see, you know, some mechanics leaving. I'm like, oh, that's weird, like the guy's on the track. Well, then I see him, Casey Cochran goes by on the back of the cart, his arm's bandaged up. I'm like, okay, that's one rider down, that's horrible. You know, a couple minutes later, Joe Shimoda's battling Levi Kitchen for the race lead. All of a sudden I see a Honda mechanic walking. I'm like, where's he going? Like, He's not in panic to get apart. All of a sudden I see Joe coming up, and he's in a sling and on the back of the cart. I'm like, okay, there's another guy, and then a couple minutes goes by, Dylan Schwartz rides off on his Suzuki. I think there was another rider. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it was just claiming people right and left. It was definitely brutal by the end of the day.
We had a funny thing in the beginning of the day. Chance Hymas was unbelievably fast.
Hymas,
yes, from the first moto and the second moto, actually.
Yeah, he tried to race second moto.
Yeah.
I mean, I give him props for it. He got up back on his bike after that vicious crash the first moto. But yeah, he only did, I think, 4 laps. Second moto had to pull off.
We're not laughing at the fact that these guys went down, but at the beginning of the day, Hymas was so fast. He was faster than both qualifying sessions. He was 2 seconds faster than anyone in the second one. His second lap was better than anyone's first lap, et cetera, et cetera. It's his first time here.
And he was still dealing with the ankle injury. He told us yesterday it wasn't fully healed up.
No problem.
He did what he could, but it wasn't fully healed up. He's just going to have to fight through it. He said, I'm going to fight for race wins, and it's like, all right. Yeah, he got up front. He was
gone.
rolling.
He was gone. But here's the funny part. At the beginning of the day, I say to Jason Thomas and James Stewart, how could he be so good in his first visit to the track? And they're like, he doesn't have any bad memories of Unadilla yet. He's all positive.
Oh, no.
And then when he crashed, that's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, there's the bad memories. Unadilla will always get you at some point. It should have been Chance Hymas' probably breakout day, like even more so than the overall earlier in the year. And just like that, he's done. Talking to Lars, just banged up. They hope he's going to be okay. I think it might be a collarbone for Shimoda. That's bad timing with SMX coming up. And the chef, your guy, you're a chef guy. Look at this.
Yeah, well, I was going to say too, Joe, like he always hits stride late in the season.
He does.
Like, he was, I think he won him.
He won a moto here last year.
Yeah, okay,
yep.
He won a moto here last year. Didn't get the overall.
Yep.
Like, yeah, he was going to be strong coming into SMX. He won at Ironman last year. That's a tough blow for Joe.
And then Kitchen.
Yeah.
Wins up
Kitchen,
2 out of 3.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Like, he's really good at the technical stuff. That's what I asked him in the press conference. Like, he's more good in the really rough, kind of rutted stuff.
Yeah.
But he kind of lacks in the high speed. So I was asking him, like, hey, how can you transfer that, what you did today, into the rest of the, the Hangtown kind of hard base kind of tracks? He said he really wasn't sure, but man, when he clicks, like, he was just whole shot to checkers. Like, when he was on, he was just rolling.
And Hayden Deegan in second moto was like Mitch. He said, I basically saw too many guys being taken off the track, and I'm like, I'll just take second.
Yeah, he has what? 70? Is it 78 points?
I think it's 70. Yeah, 70. It's a massive lead.
It's a good chance he clinches next weekend in Budds Creek. So
come watch it in person, Deegan fans. I had one here, but then he was a Tomac fan, so I don't know. Last piece of the podium puzzle is Jalik Swoll at Triumph. Finally, he had come close so many times, even in Supercross. They have a podium now. It's cool.
It's kind of cool. It's they've obviously had highs, had lows with the bike. I think mechanicals here and there. I think he was one of the guys that got down in the first turn in Detroit, and like he came back to I think top 5 finish.
So. Yep.
So it's just been really seriously up and down season for him. For him to get the podium through the injuries he's had too, it was one of those feel-good stories. You kind of knew it was coming at some point.
Yeah.
Like you said, the bike has just been so many things between. It's a whole new bike. That's not like you said. They're not taking a KTM and throwing parts on it. It's a whole new platform that they've never been to these tracks before. They don't have any data, is what he said. So it's literally showing up, learning and qualifying, learning as the day goes on. So it's just been a really big learning process. He does have people that he trusts and knows around him, which is why he's on the team. And I think that's been, kind of keeping him going. He still has the motivation to do well. He's not just out there riding. The results might not show how hard he's working, but he's really out there fighting every weekend. So it was good to see it pay off. I think he would have been happier with like maybe a 3-2. Yeah. 2 moto finishes on podium. I think is what 6-3. 6-3, I think it was.
What he got 5-3, something like that. Yeah.
So he wasn't pumped on it, but he was like, you know what, we'll take it for what it's been. So
the racing luck swings both ways. I mean, he had a counter shaft sprocket go with a lap to go at Southwick when he was battling around the podium. So you're owed one sometimes. So let's go to the press conference, hear from those 3 guys, and also a couple other guys that we caught up to in the scrum, including Ty Masterpool, another guy who could have had a great day, but he fell early in both motos.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I feel like I've been on the other end of, things not working out for me. And obviously I want to get on the box straight up and not just, because somebody went down. Obviously it sucks for, Joe. But, no, I've been on that end of the stick a few times, and, to come out here and, put 2 good results together and get on the box, it's awesome, and it means a lot for Triumph too, obviously, with them, first year brand, and to be the first guy in US to get a podium for Triumph, it's pretty cool.
Kind of, but almost the opposite. Like after Washougal, I took it more as like I needed a break, and I was pretty disappointed obviously in how it went there. So I actually took a pretty good amount of time off the bike completely, and I just needed a reset. So I just pretty much fished for like 2 weeks and golfed, and then yeah, I actually didn't really ride much at all, but that kind of recharged my batteries and made me excited to go racing again, and that's what it took.
Day was all right, P6 overall. Dude, I was frustrated. I didn't have the best second moto. If I would have executed some passes better, might have been on the podium. It was a crazy day, dude. Everybody was all over the place, and to be honest, I was surprised we had a racetrack today, you know, to say the least. We had a lot of rain, and dude, it did not show today. The track was sick. It was gnarly though, just like Unadilla always is. So yeah, stoked to make it out in one piece, and on to what's next, Buds, I think. Yeah, Buds.
It's good. First moto, I think I was one of the few guys to go with the scoop, and I was like, you know what, let's get a good start, stay out of the roost, get through a clean first lap. Got the worst jump of my life, so the scoop was a little bit of a struggle in that first one. Still ended up 11th, which was pretty good, and then went back to regular tire for the second moto. Got a great start, you know, go figure. But yeah, sat up there in 8th for a while, and then I think we ended up 10th in that one. So overall, good day. Riding was good, and man, I feel like I put everything out there. I'm hurting right now.
Yeah, it was a survival. 2 bad starts, but I feel like I rode my best this weekend. So I think coming through the pack and everything else was great. I just need to put 2 good starts together, which I know I can do, but it is tough in this class right now. Like I told the team, like I was battling with guys that won overalls this year already for 11th. It doesn't really happen that often, so yeah, just 2 good starts for next weekend, and we should be back where we were at Washougal, and hopefully on the podium.
Yeah, all right. They qualified pretty good, second, and then yeah, first and second moto, kind of same story. First one was running good, and then I just got roosted so bad and I couldn't see anything. And I shift up again and lean back, and I like hit a rut sideways and just swapped out. I had a pretty gnarly crash, and then charged all the way through the pack, and then I ran out of tear-offs at like before the halfway thing, so I was just like still charging. I think I got up to like 6th or 7th, and of course last lap coming into a rut, couldn't see, hit a rut, and gave up those last positions. I lost like 3 positions, but yeah, the speed was there. Like my lap times were pretty much the same as the leaders coming through the pack is what they were telling me. And then second moto, yeah, it was, dude, good start again, both motos in there. And then I went to go get under a Levi, and just the front tire just hit the bumps and washed it again, and had to come through the pack. And yeah, a little bummed on that, but got 2 more to go, and yeah, just get rid of those mistakes and we're good. So yeah, looking forward to the last couple.
All right, we're back. Just a couple notes. I did talk to Cooper Webb. He crashed the second moto, and what is the one thing you don't want to do? Crash exactly like the way you did to hurt the thumb the first time. He did the exact same thing on the exact same hand. He says it feels a little different than Birmingham, so he's feeling reasonably confident that he didn't re-injure it, but he doesn't know yet. That is bad news. He did have fun battling the guy who rides next door to this team, Ken Roxon, in the first moto.
Going back and forth.
He said that was one of the most fun motos he ever had, and Webb said that's the first time I've ever passed Roxon in a motocross race, so I'm pumped. Yeah. So there's that. One other thing, you want to talk about the turnaround in track conditions.
I will say, it was, if you were here yesterday or you saw any videos, like there was the pits were flooded, yeah. The track, you know, there was so much water just everywhere in here. Like they were pushing vans through the pits, people were underwater. Like Levi Kitchen said he went fishing yesterday, his boots had 2 inches of water in them. He was like, oh, this is going to be a mess tomorrow. And I think everybody was like, oh, it's going to be a muddy and mutter. You know, we always predict mutters. Your thing is not to predict it.
Don't do it.
Too early.
Yep.
But I feel like, you know, it was 3 p.m. yesterday, and rain was just coming down, just hammering the track. And honestly, when I showed up to practice, we got on the bikes this morning, it was like the typical, you know, a little bit sticky mud on the bike, but it wasn't like full on mutter. I'm like, there's no way that guy did a whole lap. You know, and somehow the track ended up, I mean, it was still difficult, don't get me wrong, but it was not what it could have been.
It's not a mud race.
Yeah, it was far from a mud race, but
yep.
Big shout out to the track guys. Hunter Lawrence said they should win the Moto Hero Award this weekend.
That's right, that's right.
But yeah, just the incredible turnaround, and the fans were packed. The podium, I think that's the biggest podium I've ever seen here.
You guys have
5
fun?
years I've been
here.
We
did. Yeah. It was a good atmosphere. Rain be damned. We'll get the same thing at Budds Creek. It's not that far, people. Come on down.
On our way.
You're going?
On our way.
All right, we'll get you guys on the bicycle.
On the bicycle.
And the cars are so well detailed, he doesn't want to get those dirty. That would have pained you if you got a car all muddy today. Been a lot of cleanup. That's it for our show. Thanks to Twisted Tea for backing us. Mitch and I will be back at Budds Creek. Come to the pits and hang out with these folks.